kept the shot parameters. Okay, so 101 to 125. So let's go to frame 125. That's down here. And let's raise the ball above the ground. And I'm going to select the main control. That's this one here. And move the ball up in the air above the grid. And I'm going to press S on my keyboard to set a keyframe. And you'll see a little red stripe appear here. And the main control will go red up here in the channel box. And I can go ahead and go to frame 125 and do the same thing, press S. And now you'll see keyframes appear in the main translates on the ball. Now, if I go to frame 113, I can set another keyframe with the ball on the ground. So I'm going to pull the ball down, and what I'm doing is I'm holding down the Shift key. As I move this arrow, I'm holding down the Shift key with my left thumb so that we don't get any sliding around in any other axes. What the Shift key does is it just means that we should, in theory, just be moving it in one axis. But if I want to check that, yeah, great. No, so none of the other axes have been animated. So that's good. So now what I will get if I press play is a ball bouncing up and down, but it won't look very good yet, so we need to fix that. And the reason it doesn't look very good is because the ball is actually slowing down as it falls. And you can see this from the main translate Y curve here. The ball is accelerating down, and then around about here, instead of continuing to accelerate, it starts to slow down. This is where the graph editor becomes the animator's most useful tool. It's a little bit tricky at first, but you will get the hang of it, I promise. And then here it starts to accelerate, it starts to move up slowly, picks up speed, and then slows down again. This actually isn't how balls bounce, right? What we want is a nice, crisp bounce, not slowing in at the bottom and not easing out as it comes up. So I'm just going to fix that very simply by drag selecting this keyframe here. That's drawing an imaginary box around it. And then going to tangents, break tangents. And what this means is that these two handles here can now be moved independently. So now I'm going to drag select the handle on the left, make sure I'm in the move tool. That's this guy up here. Oh, wait a minute, sorry, that's the select tool, excuse me. So I want to be in the move tool, which is this guy here. And now I can use my mouse button to, whoops, what I'm doing is I'm actually using the right mouse button to move that around. So then I'm going to go to this one here and again use the right mouse button to move that up like that. So you get a kind of seagull's wings effect. And now we'll get a nice crisp bounce on the ball, much more realistic. It's probably a little bit too much. Much more realistic, much more what we're actually looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and save this out. So I'm just going to press stop and then go File, Save Scene As, and I'm going to call this ball bounce. Okay, it's only showing me my, let me show my ASCII files. There we go. Okay, so the ultimate ball is actually an MA. So we're in, a .ma. You don't really need to know the difference at this stage. .ma has a bit more data in it and will save as slightly larger files, but it doesn't really make a big difference. So let's save this as ball bounce, no spaces when you're saving, underscore version 1, or even version, yeah, version 1, that's fine. And then go save as. Okay, so we've now saved our ball. So that's the end of the first video. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to bounce the ball across the screen.